Lee Anderson raises questions about transparency in local government. In a recent interview that stirred reactions across the political spectrum, MP Lee Anderson made headlines once again, this time by calling for more transparency and accountability in local councils, particularly those under Labour leadership. While Anderson refrained from making direct accusations, his comments reignited a wider public conversation about openness in local governance and whether councils are effectively serving the communities they represent. The Ashfield MP, known for his no-nonsense approach and strong opinions, spoke during a regional media appearance where the conversation turned to issues such as council spending, housing policy, and the visibility of decision-making processes. Anderson suggested that in some areas, local authorities could be doing more to make their actions clear and accessible to the public. There's a growing feeling among many residents across the country that they're not always being told the full story, Anderson remarked. And that's not unique to one party, it's a wider issue of transparency and communication. While Anderson's comments were carefully worded, his emphasis on openness raised eyebrows. He pointed to examples of delayed public reports, lack of consultation on housing plans, and what he described as too much being decided behind closed doors. It's not about blaming individuals, he clarified. It's about making sure councils, regardless of political leadership, are held to the same standard of transparency we expect from national government. Anderson's remarks focused in particular on planning decisions, council finances, and procurement policies, areas where local governments are frequently scrutinized for perceived lack of clarity. He highlighted that the public often feels out of the loop on how their taxes are being used or why certain local services face cuts while others do not. Calls for transparency in local government are not new. Over the past decade, watchdog groups, journalists, and community activists have pushed for more accessible information on council decisions, especially regarding housing, development, and budgets. The Local Government Association, LGA, which represents councils across England and Wales, has acknowledged the importance of public trust and continues to encourage best practices in transparency and community consultation. In response to recent discussions, an LGA spokesperson stated, "Councils are working hard to improve access to information and encourage community engagement. While some challenges remain, significant progress has been made in digital reporting, open meetings, and publishing key documents. Still, critics argue that gaps persist, particularly in densely populated urban areas where rapid development and stretched budgets often lead to complex, controversial decisions." Given that Anderson's comments were interpreted by some as particularly directed at Labour-run councils, several Labour representatives responded by defending their record. A spokesperson for one major urban council stated, "Our decisions are made with the interests of residents at heart. We regularly publish reports, host public consultations, and provide channels for feedback. While we welcome scrutiny, we reject the suggestion that we are hiding anything from the public." Others have pointed out that budget constraints placed on councils by central government, including cuts over the past decade, limit the ability of local authorities to act as quickly or openly as some might hope. When councils are working with less funding year after year, it becomes harder to balance transparency with efficiency, one councillor noted. Unsurprisingly, the issue sparked strong reactions online. Supporters of Anderson applauded him for speaking out, while critics viewed his comments as politically motivated or lacking concrete evidence. On social media, hashtags such as #LocalAccountability and #CouncilTransparency began trending in the UK, with users sharing both criticism and support for their own local authorities. Many called for an independent national audit of local government practices, while others encouraged citizens to get more involved in council meetings and planning processes. Dr. Helen Fraser, a political ethics researcher at the University of Manchester, said Anderson's comments reflect growing public impatience with bureaucracy. "We're seeing a shift where people want not only honesty but visibility. They don't just want to be told what's happening, they want to see how decisions are made and be part of that process." She also warned, however, that political figures must tread carefully when discussing public institutions. It's essential to raise issues responsibly, without undermining the vital work that many councillors and civil servants do under often difficult conditions. What this moment has revealed is a shared interest across the political spectrum in making local governance more open and accessible. While opinions may differ on how best to achieve that goal, the underlying demand for accountability is one that resonates with citizens of all backgrounds. Lee Anderson's comments, whether viewed as a warning shot or a call to reform, have put a spotlight on a conversation that deserves more public attention. The challenge now is to turn debate into action, encouraging both councils and residents to work together in building a more transparent local democracy. What's your take on Lee Anderson's remarks about local government transparency? Do you feel your local council is open and accountable? Share your thoughts respectfully in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell icon for more thoughtful political analysis. Stay informed, stay involved.